Suffering episode 4, and I will be starting my reaction. And right before I start my reaction, I'm just gonna say I'm watching it from Crunchyroll's website. But without further delay, I'll be starting my video in 1, 0, go. Well, my reaction bit of the video. TV Tokyo. Dun, dun. Yes, I've been actually waiting for this. Show versus oh boy. I just wish that Show versus Tanaka had a bit more build up though, because this would feel much more substantial if you would have seen all the matches leading up to this. Because with the way this series is setting it up, it just feels like they couldn't have like the same match with both of them just training with each other and testing out their skills, you know? Instead of the way the series actually did it. But I have a feeling that that's not going to be enough for to beat Show though. Because when it comes to like surfing, I feel like Show's got his start more into surfing than Tanaka does. Just considering the fact that Tanaka wants to do other things in life once he moves. I mean, that's just my gut feeling though. I could be completely wrong on that. Because, I mean, not all my predictions are going to be completely on point. But the reason why I'm making that guess is because I've seen a good amount of sports animes to know where this is going. Where you've got a character, like whenever they're not fully dead set on something, usually be like, hmm. Where it's like, I ain't got a good feeling about. I mean, not a good feeling, but usually when characters just have other things going on in life, especially in sports animes, they just lose their focus and then they lose in whatever they're doing in like the competition. At least when it comes to like all the animes I've seen in the past. Now it could be wrong, and who knows? Maybe Tanaka's actually gonna defy the odds, and he's gonna actually pull something out that's gonna be utterly surprising. Where I'm gonna go, oh wow, he's actually gonna win. But the odds of that are pretty low, though. Oh, it's actually pretty darn sweet to hear him say that. Aww. Oh. Hey, you don't actually dig this. I have a feeling they're gonna get some of the biggest waves around. I admit, I like how they saved some of their bigger tracks for at least these two going at it. Because they honestly deserve the best. I love how he does like the whole instrument playing thing. I kind of wish they would have shown more close up of Tanaka surfing though. Feel like the distance shot was a bit too much. So hopefully they render Show's surfing a little bit better. Damn! Yo, it looked magical when he was doing that. I got a feeling Show's probably gonna win this. Hell yes. And I actually like that too, just showing you like how focused you gotta be in service because it ain't just about going for any web. It's also analyzing at a moment's notice what type of web you can use. I actually like this. It shows you the nice unpredictable nature of surfing and the chess like factor in it too. I mean, at least when he was going towards the screen, the CG didn't look that bad. And saying that though, I'm noticing with Tanaka, they're not giving as good animation because when he did that spin, it really didn't. It did a close up, but they didn't really show a far away shot. Kind of a little disappointing there. But at least all those show sequences were animated well, at the cost of Tanaka sequences not being that well rendered though in comparison. Now, this is what I like to see close up to the beauty. And another thing too, when it comes to like Show's clothing, you don't see the water stick on it. And then now Tanaka looks completely dry as if there was someone to wipe out all the water away from his body. Like those little things, like the lack of attention to detail, kind of does ruin the fun factor because there's a lot of sports animes this season that there's the sports anime this season that looks beautiful, which is Escape the Infinity. That one animates every single little detail, like sweat, blood, injuries, and it doesn't resort to CG shortcuts. So it kind of makes it tough for Wave Let's Go Surfing to get any momentum just due to, or to get any waves just due to like the quantity of sports quality animes we got this season. Oh, and then 243 Sending High School Volleyball Club. That one looks amazing too. And then there's this series where it's like they struggle animating in comparison to. Oh, and then there's also the ice skating anime this season too. Like there's like the water. It looks like it's being absorbed by the water, but it just looks so off. Like I said, all the close-ups of their faces look good and all, and I do love the hair movement though. But from like a technical standpoint, this episode really isn't doing for me, which is a shame because the main emphasis is the surfing. Because it looks, finally, at least now we get to see long distance shots of both of them doing spins. Even though it looked pretty, at least it was passable CG animation. Still, though, with them skipping through the events in episode 3, I kind of hope they would have shown out for episode 4 at the very least, because now it makes me wonder what the hell do they do all that rushing for then? If only this great battle was actually animated well, I would have actually cared more. I mean, at least now you see water in Tanaka's body, and I gotta admit, that wink is kind of smooth. But honestly, though, when they were surfing, it just felt like I was watching plastic toys surfing sometimes. Damn. My money is show one. That's if I were a betting man, that's who I think won this match. I mean, he has the right to say Rebels, but considering he did lose, just a shame it happened. Just a shame Bill lost off screen though. Oh, that's the type of romance I love to see. And that type of stuff almost always warms up my heart. Yeah, our boy looks like a proud pop with the way he's looking at him. Damn, you just let him rust. Jeez. I mean, I'm pretty sure they used up a lot of cinema just in that surfing match. But you know what? That hyperactivity is why I love him, and what makes him so likable too. Yeah, I mean, I knew Show was gonna win. I mean, he had a overall better performance overall. And yeah, at the very least, Tanaka's a good sport too, and he didn't take the loss hard. Oh, let me look at the Corgi has something to say too. All right, that's good. I like that. That he's gonna go at it, and I think he will. I think he'll improve exponentially pretty soon. Huh? Who's Sally though? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Okay, is it what? Oh, I thought for a second he was talking about some anime he was watching. That would actually be fun. It would exponentially increase the stakes for the series even further. If there was actually some world competition. Yes, talk about being ambitious. It's a shame, yeah, Tanaka's not gonna join, considering that he's got other goals in life, though. You know, this would have more emphasis if it actually showed up. There's what pisses me off. They talk about rivalry, but they didn't show white haired dude and dude with the glasses actually have any scenes. They're just there. And that's it. Just background decorations in the series. Oh. Oh, damn. I actually like the character moment from Tanaka there, then. Bill. Yep. Had that feeling it was going to be him. Who the fuck is this? Like, all these random ass people just showing up. And this is why I have an issue with episode 3, and now it's further cemented in this episode. So they skipped up all the build up for all these characters. This scene doesn't have as much weight as it could have. It's like the series like telling it's the series. It's like telling us that they have a relationship going on without even bothering showing the relationships, and that's what really pisses me off with the series. It doesn't put in the work in. Of course, that's the word his mind would be. Find a way. Yeah, yeah. I gotta admit, this song is kind of kick ass. Oh, where? I love how they're all really dramatically running. But hey, you know what? This is nice. It's actually fitting. Yo, they didn't just all jump and sink. Jeez, talk about having such a amazing bomb to the point where they'd actually be able to pull that off. I love how the teachers just strolling along. When teachers do talk like that, it usually means it's gonna show up in the exam. I like that Tanaka's owing that chicken arm. Man. Oh man, that just means he probably has to get a part time. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Part time job, so I can like the very least start saving and spending more. Hmm. It's quite a lot of offers right there. The ocean is Shonyan. I think Crunchyroll translators messed up a little bit there. It's supposed to be in instead of it is, but that's not an issue with the episode. That's just a little. That's just a little translation hiccup right there. I wonder if they're gonna be tempted to actually ride one of the heavy waves of the storm because I don't like. Why would they be there? Oh, okay, never mind. I mean, at least someone was paying attention to class. Hmm. The thing is, though, he's probably got his own circles he wants to pull off. Aww. Probably something to do with family. That's gonna be my guess. I'm honestly with the animation when it comes to Slug, you don't see it land on their clothing. That's a shame. I would have loved to have seen some attention to detail paid on by the animators. Okay, at least you saw some on the cute little corgi. Oh, they're looking cute. It depends on the context of signing, though. Sometimes signing can actually bring happiness. Not money instances, but in a few exceptions they do, though. I mean, that's a good thing that they're giving their boy freedom, though. Yeah, exactly. Some parents don't really give you the luxury of choosing sometimes. Hmm. It really does make you feel for him. Aww. Now, Shoei's a freaking sweetheart right there. Now, these are the sequences when the series is at its best. When you got the emotional scenes like this. And besides, they could always visit each other too on occasions, even if they go to different schools. Yeah, I mean, they could always meet up at the world competition. So they've got that going for them. Yes! And hopefully this time they don't skip through matches. New message. Oh. Yeah, but then Tsukashi would be so freaking cold being out there, though. They should. Because they might also be taking advantage of the opportunities to hang out while they're young instead. Oh. It has to be family issues. Because usually she'll look so composed. I don't think he'd be looking at that like that for like no reason. Whenever people say it's nothing, it usually means something though. I say usually. Because it isn't going to guarantee that it's absolutely isn't nothing, but in this context, we know something's up. Oh, I only hope for their sake that tomorrow actually comes, though. Because why am I getting some eerie feeling? I mean, it's snow, dark, the art style's dark. I'm getting a bad feeling about this. I hope a car doesn't crash into the show. Or maybe, no, I'm just paranoid. But hey, you never know with sports animes, though. Hmm. Yeah, you definitely can tell something's gonna happen. Like the sad music, whew, they would not be placing it there for nothing. I just hope that show isn't like forced to move out, surprisingly, because you never know. It might actually go that route. Or hell, who knows? It might actually be an. Okay, I mean, why would it be attempting it though? Show's probably trying it. Don't tell me Show's crazy enough to actually try the wave. Show's there. I don't think it'd be happening for no reason. It or no, 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 no. What the fuck? Holy shit. Okay. Wow. Talk about complete another darkness right there. I'm freaking surprised. And yeah, the E definitely fits, especially what happened, like the darkness. The shit. And I gotta admit, it's amazing. Like it definitely builds up the mood, the mystery of what the hell's gonna happen. At least for me, it definitely makes it feel uneasy. So for that, I gotta give the episode absolute credit for that. Shit. Talk about a downer ending, but I mean that in a good way though, because the ending it stings. It stings like a motherfucker in a good way. And I was just about to rate this episode a little bit above average, but with that cliffhanger ending, I gotta rate this one straight up higher than what I was gonna rate it originally. There's no effing way I'm gonna rate this anything less. So if I were to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being abysmal, 5 being average, and 10 being exceptional, beyond that wave. Interesting little tile there. If I had to rate this one straight up, because originally I was going to rate it like a 5.5 out of 10 because I was like, they're growing up. I like the character development for Tanaka, where he wants to actually pursue surfing in the world stage. So I do like how they resolve that plot point. Because even though he's going into Hawaii, at least now we know that he's not going to completely give up on surfing. So there were a lot of positives in this episode. With him not giving up one of his loved pastimes. And that's why I thought the writing was good. It shows you that the characters are dynamic. And just the irony of show where he told he told our main boy, don't surf into dangerous shit, yet Show does it himself. I'm like, dang. that's something that was really impressive when it came to the series too, because I love how it showed you his absolute and utter gutsiness. And that's what thought it fantastic from a character standpoint. You see one of Show's downsides into riding a dangerous wave that could kill him. And then, aside from showing you one of the flaws in Show's personality, it also does a great job in showing you just the problem between Tanaka, Show, and Masaki's bond. Just seeing them hang out all casually, I thought it was really darn sweet. And from a story standpoint, the ending portion was great. The surfing part was a little disappointing, but hey, what can you do about it? At this point, the animation quality, I ain't gonna expect much from it, so I'm learned now to not get my hopes up. But honestly, out of all the sports animes, this one's definitely one of the weaker ones because 243 volleyball, SK to Infinity are other sports animes, and they look way better than this. So this is definitely on the bottom tier when it comes to sports animes of this season. But I still find some enjoyment. And the thing that keeps this episode being a failure was, aside from emphasizing the bond between the main boys, the ending was just epic. I was like, damn. Now that's a freaking twist right there. So that's why, if I had to rate this episode overall on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being abysmal, 5 being average, and 10 being exceptional, I'll give it a 7 out of 10 for at least a bit above average. Reason why I say out of 10 is because, again, the surfing scenes between Masaki and Tanaka, while they weren't rushed, they weren't that well rendered. But at the very least, it wasn't X arm levels of bad, so it was passable. But the thing is, with all the hype they had between those two, I kind of wanted something more than passable. But regardless, though, I enjoyed what I watched overall. And aside from that, the vocal performances from everyone were amazing. That I will give it credit for. You can tell every single voice actor and actress in this episode, they tried their best to have a absolutely fantastic performance. And that's why I feel that when it comes to this episode, I gotta rate it a 7 out of 10 because I think it at least did enough good to be entertaining. And for me, I mean that's good enough because for one, I don't have much expectations for this series. So for it to at the very least do good enough to where it has an ending where I'm engaged, I'm like, yeah, you know what? It did something, which is better than nothing in my personal opinion at the very least. But anyways, y'all, these are my thoughts on the episode. I would love to hear your thoughts on how I feel about my reaction or the episode itself in the comment section below. Hope y'all rate the video, share it, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later if you come back for more because I'm definitely pumped up to see what they're gonna do next. But anyways, y'all, thank y'all so much for watching my video. Hope y'all rate the video, share it, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later if you come back for more. Bye bye, everyone.